What's good, Sheltron? You're the most woke, no joke, and I'm back at again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a boat, Grey Biscuit. Drake was right. Drake was absolutely right on that song, You With Me, off Views. I think it was You With Me, when he said, if they don't got a story these days, they'll make one. If they don't got a story these days, they'll make. If y'all aren't on Twitter, y'all need to check it out, because there's been a lot of news surrounding Greg Olsen the last couple of days. And if you are on Twitter, you can go ahead and slide your boy a quick follow on the thing. You know, it's at Sheltron, same as the YouTube. I got some GOAT tweets. But before getting to all that, let's go ahead and go straight down to PIP and look at these tweets, man, because if you've been on Twitter, you've been wondering a little bit, like, what's going on with Greg Olsen? Like, what are all these stories? You never hear about Greg Olsen in the news. You never hear about Greg Olsen in the media. And all of a sudden, we have all these Greg Olsen stories. So yesterday, David Newton, who's a NFL Nation reporter who covers the Panthers, he said Pro Bowl tight end Greg Olsen told the team website that he'd like to get an extension done before he begins the 2018 season, the final year of his current contract. If not, he said, then next year, I'll become a free agent. Word? Now that's big news. That's big news. And then Joe Person went on, he had a tweet yesterday that said, spoken tight end Greg Olsen, takeaways, first priority is to get an extension done before season. Monday Night Football, still a viable option unless above happens. 3, foot completely healed. Stay tuned for more. Then, and then Darren Gant, who, he's a local, he's a Pro Football Talk guy. This guy is kind of a dick, really. He says, oh, another offseason of Greg not wanting to be a distraction. And then Greg responds to Darren Gant saying, make it clear your desire to play for Panthers this year and beyond. Translation, Olsen's a distraction. Darren Gant and his repeated attempts at dry, witty humor is getting old. It just seems so weird that people will try to twist anyone, like Greg Olsen's words of anyone. I'll be honest with you. People around football and nationally, we're not a big market. People really don't care about the Panthers. I'm gonna be honest with you. People who aren't in the Panthers market, for the most part, they don't care about the Panthers as a whole. They care about Cam Newton, and that's as far as they see the Panthers. Maybe there's some Luke fans out there, but for the most part, if you're not in the target market, then you probably don't care about the Panthers. So it seems kind of weird that these national writers will be trying to twist Greg Olsen's words around. And then he had another tweet today saying, let's try it another way. 1, team was first to know about my ESPN audition. Made it clear at that point my desire was to play for 3 to 5 more years with the Panthers. 2, never gave team ultimatum regarding my contract or lack of commitment to this upcoming season. Now back to OTAs. So why would ESPN report a story saying that if he doesn't get a new contract this year, I'll become a free agent? Why would they commit? Why would that kind of statement? And also, before I get into anything else further into this, look at these. There's only 5 responses, and 2 of them are the most ignorant thing ever. This person, Stanley's mom, M. Dawkins. Now, M, if you watch my YouTube channel, I'm sorry to say this, but you're a goofy. You're an absolute goofy. Like, what? I love Greg, but it's time to move on to younger talent. Word? Greg Olsen, you want to move on from Greg? Greg Olsen is easily top 4 tight end talent in the whole league right now. And honestly, Gronk gets injured so much. I mean, he puts up numbers, but the best ability is availability. And last year, Greg got hurt, but he's carried our team so many times. And then someone said, needs to be for the right price or else goodbye, Greg. What kind of stupid statement is that? Every contract needs to be for the right price. Or else goodbye, Greg. Like you're gonna find talent that's gonna match up to Greg Olsen anywhere. And this guy's talking about, is the tight end draft as good as OJ Howard, or is the tight end in this draft as good as OJ Howard? We didn't need a backup tight end last year. OJ would have been nice. OJ's good, but we didn't need a tight end last year. That wasn't an issue. There's no way we could have predicted that Greg Olsen would get hurt. But didn't Ed Dixon fill in pretty well for Greg Olsen? So even with Greg Olsen going down, Ed Dixon did a pretty good job of filling in for him in the meantime. So I don't understand what these people on Twitter. That's the thing, though. You have to understand that it's a sports fandom, and people in sports fandoms don't really like to think logically. It's all about top of the head, smart decision. Like like this not they don't think deeply about things before they like to say things. It's something that happens not just in sports fandoms but everywhere. But it's just kind of frustrating when you see this person's whole Twitter, the Stanley's mom. I don't want to go in on an M too hard, but her whole Twitter is dedicated to Panthers. How's your whole Twitter identity on Panthers and you're this ignorant about about the Panthers? Your banner picture is you and Cam Newton. This is a picture of you and your kid in Panthers gear. Proud member of Panthers Nation, but you're still super ignorant about. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go in on Am like that, bro. But Miss Dawkins, you're a goofy. And if you watch on YouTube, I appreciate you, but you gotta start thinking. You gotta start thinking, Am. And I'm gonna keep it real. Greg Olsen is a top 3 to 4 tight end in the league for me, and in our scheme where we use tight ends a lot, we can't just go out and get some random player and hope he just fills in for Greg Olsen like that. Because the tight end is a very important part of our scheme. Because defense they have the game plan. They have the game plan for our tight end game being so nice. And pair that with us having basically Devin Funchess and a bunch of slot guys. And I know there are other players, there are guys who play on the outside, but they're basically slot guys. They're 5'10", 6 foot guys that are mainly possession receivers. We can talk about Curtis Samuel, if he's back healthy. Jameer Byrd, if he's back and he's good, that's cool. But we don't have a really strong X receiver other than Funchess. So teams have to really game plan around our tight end, and you're just not gonna go out and find like, okay, there's a guy who can just fill in for the heavy carrying duty that Greg Olsen does on a yearly basis. And I think is that even if he says 3 to 5 more years, that just means like 2 to 3 years of still being, the premier guy, and then maybe 2 to 3 years, give and take 2.5 of him being in an ace set where there's 2 tight ends and bringing in and trying to push along another younger tight end and being a mentor on the team, being a mentor veteran on the team, and getting them ready for in that transitionary period between where we're getting Greg a ring, hopefully, and we're getting this younger tight end ready to play. So this is kind of weird. This is all, to me, this is a lot to do about nothing. And I'm just glad that Greg Olsen he's good enough and he's a big enough member of the team where he can get out and say stuff on Twitter, because it's just really weird that ESPN and that these people who cover the Panthers think that this is the way that Greg Olsen operates. Greg Olsen has had nothing in his past to make you think that he would ever give the team an ultimatum or talk this way or threaten not to show up or go into free agency like that. Like, Greg Olsen's always been a Panthers first kind of guy, deeply rooted in Carolina. So it's kind of weird to me that that's even a story. But yeah, man, Greg Olsen's here to stay. He's a great guy, and I think this is a lot to do. This is about Panthers writers noticing there's nothing there's no stories this like right now. And you've noticed I've done a lot of draft board videos. There's not a lot of stories going on. So thank you, terrible Panthers beat writers, for giving me this story so I can actually do a video that's not just a draft board video. What do you guys think about this Greg Olsen story and Greg Olsen in general? Let me know in the comments below. You already know to do that like button. I got a button right here to subscribe, button right here for to watch more videos. Namaste. Back sooner than you think.